안녕하세요. 반갑습니다, 여러분. 이번 시간에는 22장 정신건강의학에 대한 의학용어를 학습할 시간입니다. 자, 그럼 시작합니다.
정신과학, 정신의학,
psychiatry, psychiatry, psychiatry,
정신과의사,
psychiatrist, psychiatrist, psychiatrist,
정신약물학,
psychopharmacology, psychopharmacology, psychopharmacology,
소아정신과 의사,
child psychiatrist, child psychiatrist, child psychiatrist,
법정신의학자,
forensic psychiatrist, forensic psychiatrist, forensic psychiatrist,
정신분석가,
psychoanalyst, psychoanalyst, psychoanalyst,
정신분석,
psychoanalysis, psychoanalysis, psychoanalysis,
심리학자,
psychologist, psychologist, psychologist,
임상심리학,
clinical psychology, clinical psychology, clinical psychology,
실험심리학,
experimental psychology, experimental psychology, experimental psychology,
사회심리학,
social psychology, social psychology, social psychology,
임상심리학자,
clinical psychologist, clinical psychologist, clinical psychologist,
지능검사,
intelligence test, intelligence test, intelligence test,
웩슬러 성인용 지능검사,
Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale, Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale, Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale,
스탠포드 비넷 지능검사,
Stanford-Binet Intelligence Scale, Stanford-Binet Intelligence Scale, Stanford-Binet Intelligence Scale,
투사적 성격 검사,
projective personality test, projective personality test, projective personality test,
로르샤흐 검사,
Rorschach technique, Rorschach technique, Rorschach technique,
주제 통각 검사,
thematic apperception test, thematic apperception test, thematic apperception test,
그림 운동성 투사 검사,
graphomotor projection test, graphomotor projection test, graphomotor projection test,
인물화 검사,
draw a person test, draw a person test, draw a person test,
벤더 도형 검사,
Bender-Gestalt Test, Bender-Gestalt Test, Bender-Gestalt Test,
미네소타 다면 인성 검사,
Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory,
기억상실,
amnesia, amnesia, amnesia,
불안,
anxiety, anxiety, anxiety,
심계항진 두근거림,
palpitation, palpitation, palpitation,
무감동,
apathy, apathy, apathy,
강박행위,
compulsion, compulsion, compulsion,
전환,
conversion, conversion, conversion,
망상,
delusion, delusion, delusion,
해리,
dissociation, dissociation, dissociation,
불쾌감,
dysphoria, dysphoria, dysphoria,
이상행복감,
euphoria, euphoria, euphoria,
환각,
hallucination, hallucination, hallucination,
착각,
illusion, illusion, illusion,
불안정한,
labile, labile, labile,
조증,
mania, mania, mania,
무언증 함구증,
mutism, mutism, mutism,
강박사고,
obsession, obsession, obsession,
편집증,
paranoia, paranoia, paranoia,
이드,
id, id, id,
자,
ego, ego, ego,
초자,
superego, superego, superego,
방어기제,
defense mechanism, defense mechanism, defense mechanism,
정신병 정신증,
psychosis, psychosis, psychosis,
불안장애,
anxiety disorders, anxiety disorders, anxiety disorders,
공황 발작,
panic attack, panic attack, panic attack,
공황장애,
panic disorder, panic disorder, panic disorder,
공포장애,
phobic disorders, phobic disorders, phobic disorders,
광장공포증,
agoraphobia, agoraphobia, agoraphobia,
사회공포증,
social phobia, social phobia, social phobia,
폐소공포증,
claustrophobia, claustrophobia, claustrophobia.
고소공포증,
Acrophobia, acrophobia, acrophobia.
동물공포증,
Zoophobia, zoophobia, zoophobia.
강박장애,
Obsessive compulsive disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder.
외상 후 스트레스 장애,
Post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder.
범불안 장애,
Generalized anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety disorder.
양극성 장애,
Bipolar disorders, bipolar disorders, bipolar disorders.
조증사파,
Manic episode, manic episode, manic episode.
경조증,
Hypomania, hypomania, hypomania.
순환기분 장애,
Cyclothymic disorder, cyclothymic disorder, cyclothymic disorder.
우울장애,
Depressive disorders, depressive disorders, depressive disorders.
주요 우울증,
Major depressive disorder, major depressive disorder, major depressive disorder.
기분저하증,
Dysthymia, dysthymia, dysthymia.
계절 정동 장애,
Seasonal affective disorder, seasonal affective disorder, seasonal affective disorder.
해리 장애,
Dissociative disorders, dissociative disorders, dissociative disorders.
정체성 장애,
Identity disorder, identity disorder, identity disorder.
해리성 기억상실,
Dissociative amnesia, dissociative amnesia, dissociative amnesia.
2인증 비현실감 장애,
Depersonalization derealization disorder, depersonalization derealization disorder, depersonalization derealization disorder.
식사 장애,
Eating disorders, eating disorders, eating disorders.
신경성 식욕 부진,
Anorexia nervosa, anorexia nervosa, anorexia nervosa.
신경성 폭식증,
Bulimia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, bulimia nervosa.
신경인지 장애,
Neurocognitive disorders, neurocognitive disorders, neurocognitive disorders.
선망,
Delirium, delirium, delirium.
치매,
Dementia, dementia, dementia.
진전선망,
Delirium tremens, delirium tremens, delirium tremens.
알츠하이머병,
Alzheimer disease, Alzheimer disease, Alzheimer disease.
파킨슨병,
Parkinson disease, Parkinson disease, Parkinson disease.
헌팅톤병,
Huntington disease, Huntington disease, Huntington disease.
신경 발달 장애,
Neurodevelopmental disorders, neurodevelopmental disorders, neurodevelopmental disorders.
지적 장애,
Intellectual disability, intellectual disability, intellectual disability.
의사소통 장애,
Communication disorders, communication disorders, communication disorders.
자폐 스펙트럼 장애,
Autistic spectrum disorders, autistic spectrum disorders, autistic spectrum disorders.
자폐증,
Autism, autism, autism.
아스퍼거 증후군,
Asperger syndrome, Asperger syndrome, Asperger syndrome.
주의력 결핍 과잉 행동 장애,
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
특정 학습 장애,
Specific learning disorders, specific learning disorders, specific learning disorders.
운동 장애,
Motor disorders, motor disorders, motor disorders.
성격 장애, 인격 장애,
Personality disorders, personality disorders, personality disorders.
편집성 인격 장애,
Paranoid personality disorders, paranoid personality disorders, paranoid personality disorders.
분열성 인격 장애,
Schizoid personality disorders, schizoid personality disorders, schizoid personality disorders.
분열형 인격 장애,
Schizotypal personality disorders, schizotypal personality disorders, schizotypal personality disorders.
반사회성 인격 장애,
Antisocial personality disorders, antisocial personality disorders, antisocial personality disorders.
경계성 인격 장애,
Borderline personality disorders, borderline personality disorders, borderline personality disorders.
연극성 인격 장애,
histrionic personality disorders, histrionic personality disorders, histrionic personality disorders.
자기애성 인격장애,
Narcissistic personality disorders, narcissistic personality disorders, narcissistic personality disorders.
회피성 인격장애,
Avoidance personality disorders, avoidance personality disorders, avoidance personality disorders.
의존성 인격장애,
Dependent personality disorders, dependent personality disorders, dependent personality disorders.
강박성 인격장애,
Obsessive compulsive personality disorders, obsessive compulsive personality disorders, obsessive compulsive personality disorders.
조현병 스펙트럼 장애,
Schizophrenia spectrum disorders, schizophrenia spectrum disorders, schizophrenia spectrum disorders.
와해된 사고 언어,
Disorganized thinking speech, disorganized thinking speech, disorganized thinking speech.
비정상적 운동 행동,
Abnormal motor behavior, abnormal motor behavior, abnormal motor behavior.
긴장성 행동,
Catatonic behavior, catatonic behavior, catatonic behavior.
음성 증상,
Negative symptoms, negative symptoms, negative symptoms.
성기능 장애,
Sexual dysfunctions, sexual dysfunctions, sexual dysfunctions.
성불쾌감,
Gender dysphoria, gender dysphoria, gender dysphoria.
성도착증,
Paraphilia, paraphilia, paraphilia.
노출증,
Exhibitionism, exhibitionism, exhibitionism.
여성 물건에,
Fetishism, fetishism, fetishism.
소아성애증,
Pedophilia, pedophilia, pedophilia.
성적 피악증,
Sexual masochism, sexual masochism, sexual masochism.
성적 가학증,
Sexual sadism, sexual sadism, sexual sadism.
의상 도착증,
Transvestic fetishism, transvestic fetishism, transvestic fetishism.
관음증,
Voyeurism, voyeurism, voyeurism.
성별 불쾌감,
Gender dysphoria, gender dysphoria, gender dysphoria.
신체 증상 장애,
Somatic symptom disorders, somatic symptom disorders, somatic symptom disorders.
질병 불안 장애,
Illness anxiety disorder, illness anxiety disorder, illness anxiety disorder.
전환 장애,
Conversion disorder, conversion disorder, conversion disorder.
억압,
Repression, repression, repression.
물질 관련 장애,
Substance-related disorders, substance-related disorders, substance-related disorders.
중독 장애,
Addictive disorders, addictive disorders, addictive disorders.
심리적 의존,
Psychological dependence, psychological dependence, psychological dependence.
생리적 의존,
Physiologic dependence, physiologic dependence, physiologic dependence.
내성,
Tolerance, tolerance, tolerance.
알코올 주정,
Alcohol, alcohol, alcohol.
눈떨림 안구진탕,
Nystagmus, nystagmus, nystagmus.
암페타민,
Amphetamines, amphetamines, amphetamines.
대마,
Cannabis, cannabis, cannabis.
코카인,
Cocaine, cocaine, cocaine.
환각제,
Hallucinogens, hallucinogens, hallucinogens.
아편,
Opioids, opioids, opioids.
헤로인,
Heroin, heroin, heroin.
모르핀,
Morphine, morphine, morphine.
진정제,
Sedatives, sedatives, sedatives.
수면제,
Hypnotics, hypnotics, hypnotics.
바르비투르산염,
Barbiturate, barbiturate, barbiturate.
벤조디아제핀,
Benzodiazepine, benzodiazepine, benzodiazepine.
정신치료 정신요법,
Psychotherapy, psychotherapy, psychotherapy.
인지행동요법,
Cognitive behavior therapy, cognitive behavior therapy, cognitive behavior therapy.
가족요법,
Family therapy, family therapy, family therapy.
집단요법 그룹치료,
Group therapy, group therapy, group therapy.
심리극 정신극,
Psychodrama, psychodrama, psychodrama.
체면,
Hypnosis, hypnosis, hypnosis.
통찰지향 정신요법,
Insight-oriented psychotherapy, insight-oriented psychotherapy, insight-oriented psychotherapy.
놀이요법,
Play therapy, play therapy, play therapy.
정신분석,
Psychoanalysis, psychoanalysis, psychoanalysis.
자유연상,
Free association, free association, free association.
전이, 관련지음,
Transference, transference, transference.
꿈의 해석,
Dream interpretation, dream interpretation, dream interpretation.
성치료,
Sex therapy, sex therapy, sex therapy.
불감증,
Frigidity, frigidity, frigidity.
발기부전,
Impotence, impotence, impotence.
조루,
Premature ejaculation, premature ejaculation, premature ejaculation.
지지정신요법,
Supportive psychotherapy, supportive psychotherapy, supportive psychotherapy.
전기경련요법,
Electroconvulsive therapy, electroconvulsive therapy, electroconvulsive therapy.
항불안제,
Anxiolytics, anxiolytics, anxiolytics.
항공학 약물,
Antipanic agents, antipanic agents, antipanic agents.
선택적 세로토닌 재흡수 억제제,
Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor.
항우울제,
Antidepressants, antidepressants, antidepressants.
비정형 항우울제,
Atypical antidepressants, atypical antidepressants, atypical antidepressants.
세로토닌 노르에피네프린 재흡수 억제제,
Serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor, serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor, serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor.
사만계 항우울제,
Tricyclic antidepressants, tricyclic antidepressants, tricyclic antidepressants.
사한계 항우울제,
Tetracyclic antidepressants, tetracyclic antidepressants, tetracyclic antidepressants.
모노아민 산화효소 억제제,
Monoamine oxidase inhibitor, monoamine oxidase inhibitor, monoamine oxidase inhibitor.
항강박 약물,
Anti-obsessive compulsive disorder agents, anti-obsessive compulsive disorder agents, anti-obsessive compulsive disorder agents.
항정신병 약물,
Antipsychotics, antipsychotics, antipsychotics.
신경이완제,
Neuroleptics, neuroleptics, neuroleptics.
비정형 항정신병 약물,
Atypical antipsychotics, atypical antipsychotics, atypical antipsychotics.
지연성 이상 운동,
Tardive dyskinesia, tardive dyskinesia, tardive dyskinesia.
기분 안정제,
Mood stabilizers, mood stabilizers, mood stabilizers.
리듐,
Lithium, lithium, lithium.
항경련제,
Anticonvulsant drugs, anticonvulsant drugs, anticonvulsant drugs.
정신자극제,
Stimulants, stimulants, stimulants.
조현병 정신분열병,
Schizophrenia, schizophrenia, schizophrenia.
시민성 발기부전,
Psychogenic impotence, psychogenic impotence, psychogenic impotence.
절도벽 병적 도벽,
Kleptomania, kleptomania, kleptomania.
방화강,
Pyromania, pyromania, pyromania.
타인공포증,
Xenophobia, xenophobia, xenophobia.
정상기분,
Euthymia, euthymia, euthymia.
긴장증,
Catatonia, catatonia, catatonia.